Dear students, welcome to the e-learning. So, students, today we'll start one more topic on Python. So, before we start the topic, first of all, take care of your health and also help your family members in day-to-day activities. Students, today we'll start uh, another new topic in Pandas. So, the topic is data visualization. So, in data visualization, we'll study histogram. Students, first we need to understand what do you mean by the term data visualization. So data visualization is how we present our data, how we present our data with the help of graphs, and how we can show our data, present our data using different graphs, charts and tools under data visualization. So that is how to present our data in a effective manner. So under data visualization, today we'll study the very first tool, that is the histogram, how to represent the data in a histogram. So this is the composition. This is the part of the unit 1 that is having the highest weightage. Students, the topics that we have covered: data frames, basics, series, data frame operations like pivoting, and in last lecture we discussed how to rename the index and how to handle the missing data, how to handle, like if we have a NaN, not a number, sort of a value in our data, and how to represent that and handle that in a data frame. So data frame is a two-dimensional object, series is a one-dimensional object. Indexing and selecting the data, how these operations are applied on the data frame data. And in pivoting, that is we pivot a data frame, how to summarize the information, how to concise the information and apply the aggregate operation on the data frame and represent it in the form of a pivot table. So this example we took, where we took the example that we were having the two items of LG, Videocon and Sony company. The items are TV and AC and their price in Indian rupees and US dollars, and how to represent that information using the pivot. Then we covered that in pivoting we were having two functions, pivot function and pivot table. And under the pivot function, we discussed that how to represent that bigger data frame, itemize and company wise information. So in the below part here, you can see that the information is represented using the pivot method. This method accepts three parameters. First is index, second is columns, and third is rupees. So if you will not pass this third parameter, you will find the rupees as well as the US dollar information here. So students, we tried the different combinations. Then we covered that in that here you are seeing that you are finding the rupees and US dollar information, and if you want to see only the rupees part, so here you will have to supply the third parameter. If you will pass index and columns, so you will find the information like this, where you have values rupees as well as US dollar, and when you pass the third parameter values as rupees, so then you will find this part of the data frame only. Then we encountered a problem that you see here, that there are LG TVs available and there is one more LG TV available and they have different prices. Its price is 12,000 and the second one price is 15,000. And when we basically pivot or concise this information, whether the 12,000 should appear here or 15,000 should appear here. So then we applied under pivot underscore table function that we will apply the aggregate function on this data. So you see in the next one here, we will apply the mean method, and here under pivot underscore table, the first parameter is index, second is column, third is value, and fourth is aggregate function that will calculate the mean of these two TV prices, 12,000 and 50,000. And here then you will get the average price. So students, in the next we covered the how to rename index. So like you see here, my three columns are there, A, B, C, and index values are 1, 2, 3. So I want to convert this column name A to small one and this index value 1 to small one. So for that we have a rename method, clear, for by which we can rename our index. Then we covered how to handle the missing values. So student, in missing values, like you see here, we have the age of first student, but we don't have the age of second one, and we have the age of the third one. So let's say we want to assign this not available value with the, we want to fill it with the zero value. So sometimes because we have to apply certain operations, like we want to perform calculations or like that sort of operations. So in that case, we fill the not available value with the zero value. So this value will now get replaced with this zero value. Uh, so these are the operations under indexing and handling missing values. Students, focusing on today's topic, that is the histogram. So first we need to understand what is the histogram. So histogram is a powerful technique in data visualization. How to represent our data using a histogram. So it is an accurate graphical representation of the distribution of numerical data. So it was first introduced by Carl Pearson. It is estimate of the distribution of a continuous variable. So histograms are used where we have continuous variables. So students, you need to understand what is a continuous variable is and what is a discrete variable is. So it is similar to bar graph. There is a difference. In the next slide you will see the difference between a bar graph and a histogram. To construct a histogram, first steps is to bin the range of values. So we have to mention the range of values, means divide the entire range of values into series of intervals. So like in a continuous series, we have intervals like 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, like this. Then we count how many values fall into each interval. That is called the frequency of the values. The bins are usually specified as consecutive non-overlapping intervals of a variable. So the interval should be not overlapping, like 0 to 10, then 10 to 20, 20 to 30, like this. The bins or intervals, they are the synonyms. We can use the word bins and in intervals also, but in histogram the parameter name is bins, so that's why we use in Python specifically the word bins. So bins, that is the intervals, must be adjacent, means 10 to 20, 20 to 30, like this, and are often of equal size. So most of the times we have interval size of equal size. So students, here you can see in the graph that this on the left hand side we have a histogram, and on the right hand side we have a bar graph. So bar graph, you know that the histograms are continuous, and the bar graphs are, you know, that there is a gap between them. So this is the difference between a histogram and a bar chart graph. So now students are discussing on the parameters of the histogram method. So histogram in Python. So how to draw a histogram in Python is very easy. All we have to do is code for 3-4 lines of code. So this is very simple. We will do it practically in the Jupyter notebook now only. But the complexity is involved when we are trying to deal with the live data for visualization. So this is the problem, that every time we are not dealing with the offline data, sometimes we deal with the online data also. So here that it becomes a bit challenging also. So to draw a histogram in Python, following concept must be clear. First is title. So what is the meaning of title? Is to display the heading of the histogram. So title is the heading of the histogram. Then is the color, which color to use to represent the bars of the histogram. Then is axis, x-axis and y-axis. What is represented on x-axis, what is represented on y-axis. Then is the important thing is the data. Data can be represented as an array also. So then is the height and width of bars. So this is determined based on the analysis. The width of the bar is called bin. So we have already discussed in the previous slide that the interval are called the bins, and the data that we supply, that is decide the height of the bars. So students, moving forward. So this is the practical example that we are going to start. This data we are going to represent with the help of uh, histogram. So the data is supplied in the program. So here you can see the program what the data is. So without wasting further time, we will now move to the Jupyter notebook. So in Jupyter notebook, the first is, today we are going to draw histogram in Python. So students, the very first step is import numpy as np as usual. And today the important thing is import matplot library and its sub package pyplot as plt. So students, in the next step we are going to use a variable data, and here we are going to use a list. So the values are 1, 11, 21, 31 and 41. Then we are going to use our histogram method pl, that is under plt package. HIST is the name, and then the first parameter is that we have to supply the values. So like this, these are the values we have supplied. Now the next is the bins or the intervals. So you have to type like bins here. Go to again in list. So the intervals are 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. Then students, the another parameter is weights. So weights are nothing but the frequency of each interval that will decide the height of the bars. First is 20, then is 10, then is 45, then 33, then 6, and finally 8. And we can also decide the edge of the bar, like the parameter is edge color is equal to red. And students, finally we have a method how to display the data, that is how we are going to see the output. So for that, under plot package, show method is there to show the results. Just click on the run button and you will find the output now. So now this data will be represented in the form of a histogram. Clear? So you need to understand all the parameters. What is the meaning of bins? What is the meaning of weight? Then edge color is just the edge of the histogram bar, and then the like 5 to 10. What are all these values? So just we have encountered a error. So we'll try to sort out what is the error is. So students, what was the error was there, that we have passed one value less here. So students, first of all, see here the bins are my, this is 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 30 to 40. So these are my class intervals. Clear? And then these weights are deciding the height of the bars. Clear? 10, first is 20, then is 10, then the next is 45, then next is 33, then next is 6, then is 8. And the edge color red, so this is the edge color of the histogram that we are seeing here. Here you are finding out the histogram. So by default its color is blue. So we can also change the color by passing the parameter like face color equal to y. So this Y means stands for yellow. You just run the code and you see the color of the histogram has changed to yellow. So students, these are the different methods we can apply. You see here, this is the histogram without the title, so we can also decide the title also. So for that we have the method is title, and you see the title is histogram heading. So you just run the code and you see now the histogram is having the heading, this histogram heading. So similarly students, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. We want to represent what the x-axis stands for and what the y-axis stands for. So for that you see here what changes I make here. The method here is plt dot x label. So x label stands for x-axis. So these are my value on x-axis, and similarly my y-axis, the method is y label, and it represents frequency. Now this will be displayed on the graph. Just run this one. So now you see that this x-axis is representing value and y-axis is representing frequency. Clear? So like this students, you can make changes here. And another important is let's say you want to save this diagram. Clear? So let's say I want to save this diagram. So for that the function is, method is save fig, to save the figure. So let's say I save it on the F drive, and name is my temp dot jpg. So you see students, I have saved, just run the code. GPT, the spellings are wrong here, so that's why it is giving you the error. So in this line there is an error. How to rectify this? jp not t, jpg file is the extension of a image file. Just now the code is now running, output is coming here. So now what is the meaning of this save fig is there, that I have saved this histogram on F drive. Now I will make you go to the F drive. See, this is my F, here is my F drive, this is my F drive, and in F drive I have stored it in temp. So this is the temp, is the name of a file. You just right click on this one, and let's say I want to open it with students paint. So the same image is now exported and saved on the F drive, and here you can see the image. Students, this is the image that we have saved. Clear? So you see this sort of flexibility is basically provided by the histogram. So we can make this is the first data visualization tool that we have used, how to draw a histogram, how to represent our data in a histogram. So now students, moving back to our PPT. Here, so this we have demonstrated in Jupyter Notebook. So now in what is the important things are there in histogram? So by default the bars of the histogram is displayed in blue color. So we have changed the color so that we can change the color by using the argument or parameter face color equal to yellow. So we can change the color to yellow, and you can student make the different colors also. So similarly we have given a name to the histogram, so that is under title. So under the title method, so we can pass the students the heading we can give a heading to the histogram. And finally how we can save the image also. So we can save the image using the save figure method of this package MATLAB package. And similarly, how to represent the data on the x-axis and on the y-axis. So finally, students, these are the resources that you can refer to for better understanding of these topics. And hope you have found today's session interesting. If you still have some doubt, you can contact me for any issue if you have. So at the end, I thank you all. Thank you for attending the session. Thank you. Thank you very much.